Sending a enda to my dad. Warning, some audiences may find this content disturbing. View at your own discretion. Welcome to the House of Reddit. Today, we share some recent r/TodayIFuckedUp stories posted on Reddit. Sending a enda to my dad. I have never laughed so hard while also sobbing. Basically, I took a nice risque photo for my boyfriend yesterday and have been waiting to send it to him at a more opportune time. We also got family photos taken and I had sent him the previews moments before the incident. This will make sense later, so he's messing with the Apple TV in our room and I decide that it's the perfect moment to send him the pic because he'll see it on the big screen. He had his camera open and I'm trying to be sneaky while he's telling me to look at the screen BC he's filming our dog in real time. Well, I get a little overloaded on multitasking and open my text messages and send a pic to the already open conversation. I had forgotten that my dad was the last person to text me. Not my BF. I immediately called him and said, "Dad, I need you to delete our text conversation and please don't ask me why." He laughed and said, "Oh God, please tell me it's not a picture." I confirmed it was and my dad replied, "Okay, well, I'm gonna give the phone to mom so she can open it and delete it." I begged him to just delete the whole convo thread, but he's not an iPhone user and told me he has to open the messages to delete it. So I conceded to allowing my mother to delete it. After the incident, my boyfriend and I went and got food with our roommate, who was aware of the dad fiasco. Right we got home I decided I'll send my BF the pic finally instead of trying to make a thing out of sending it to him, i.e. while he's at work or whatever, so I nonchalantly sent it and not even a second later I hear the TV turn on. I look to the screen and see his phone background. Roommate, look at the TV. Fuck. My boyfriend has his phone up and is using the camera to put my dog on the TV. Again. Then the little banner drops down, my nude showing but now on a 65 TV instead of a little phone screen. Boyfriend accidentally drops his phone. We all watch in mild horror as the little banner disappears on its own time. This fucking enda is cursed. Screaming at my son's pee niche. My son is 2. When he was little, when he wasn't feeling well, I would fake scream while changing his diaper. He would giggle and then scream back. Once he started to get older I stopped and he would still scream occasionally. Fast forward to a few weeks ago, we have been cooped up due to COVID and decided we were going to take a weekend down to Pigeon Forge to get away and enjoy the mountains. We meet up with my family and rent a cabin. Of course, while we're there we have to get our tourist action going and checked out a shopping center called The Island. We were walking around when we realized that my oldest son needs a diaper change and he soiled his outfit. Because of the super dad that I am, I forgot to pack a spare set of clothes in our diaper bag, so my wife sets off to find a new outfit and my younger brother stays with me. We find the bathroom, I head inside with my son while my brother waits outside. Another semi-important piece of this story is that both me and my brother are tall, 6'4" and 6'6". I get into the stall with the changing table and I'm trying to get the dirty clothes and diaper off my son, but he is not cooperating. So I think I'll call my brother and ask him to come in to get some wet paper towels and to help out. So here we are, 2 huge guys with a little boy in the bathroom. We got my son undressed and as I'm taking his diaper off he decides he is going to scream at the top of his lungs. Normally he would laugh but not this time. I tell him to stop yelling but he thinks it's a game and continues to screech and scream. Now, both me and my brother are getting embarrassed and I turn around and realize that people can see me and my brother over the top of the stall and a guy grabs his phone and runs out of the restroom. So great, I finish cleaning up my son and ask my brother, "Do you know where the kid's mom is?" Out of frustration. We leave the restroom and are walking out trying to find my wife when we're stopped by security and have to explain that it is my son and the reason why he is naked is because he soiled his outfit. The night my mom commit suicide. I do not hold myself accountable. I was 13 years old. I was at a friend's house and told my mom I was staying the night. I had got a phone the Christmas before and so I texted her to tell her. I left my phone under my pillow and played Command & Conquer, Red Alert 2, through LAN with my friend until we both felt tired enough to sleep. I saw I had a message from mom but chose to ignore it. I woke up and read the text message the next morning. My heart is pounding as I type this. The message simply read, "Daz, please come home." Need not be alone. I thought that it was odd and tried to ring my mum. I got no answer, so assumed she was still asleep. I stayed round my friends till about midday when our girlfriends came to visit and we joked that should go back to mine as his mum was home and my mum would likely be at work. So we got to mine, about 200 meters away, and I tried my key. It didn't work. It wouldn't unlock, which meant one of two things: the lock was stuck or the latch was on. Being a pretty skinny 13-year-old, I knew I could still just about squeeze through the downstairs toilet window. A narrow entry point and the handle was broken. I make it in through the window and find the chain and the latch are on. I call out but no response. I let my friends in the front door, and just as we walk towards the lounge, past the stairs, my girlfriend asks if my mom is listening from the stairs. I look up and she stood there. My mind is still foggy around the next bit, so apologies if it doesn't quite make sense. I then say something like, "We can see you, you're not going to make us jump." I step up the stairs and look at her. My heart feels like it's stopped, her feet aren't on the stair. I look up and my world begins to fall apart. She had fashioned a net curtain into a noose and hung herself from the stairs. I scream at her and try to lift her weight. My friend tells the girls to get help and tries to help lift her. She was so heavy. I call for an ambulance whilst we're holding her and screaming down the phone. My mom has key at herself. She's HNG herself, and I remember the handler doing their best to calm me. They asked me to get a sharp knife and all I could find in my panic was a bread knife. I start trying to cut the curtain, but I'm panicked and my hands just were not working as they should. My friend runs to get help too, as we still have no help. He returns with his mom and a neighbor what felt like an age later. They take over and manage to finish the cut and lift her down. They take her into the lounge and tell me to wait outside. I hear as I back away from the door her mouth is stiff shut. At that moment I knew it. I broke down in tears in the street screaming as an ambulance arrived. I was slumped on the floor. I just remember crying for hours when my stepdad, recently separated from my mom, turned up. I held him tight and continued to cry until I assume I passed out. The next person I woke to was my sister. I couldn't stop crying. All I remember of that night and the days after was crying. I lost a lot of weight, which for an already skinny child was not healthy. In the weeks after, I attempted to KLL myself in a very similar fashion and failed. Ever since then I have struggled with darkness in my mind every few months, but have used it to drive myself to fundraise for mental health charities, etc., to refocus my mind. I am clear of such thoughts these days and have been a while, though continue to fundraise. I will never not feel some guilt, but know that at my age then I was not the cause. It actually weirdly set me on a better path. My friend and his family were habitual drug users and I was starting to fall into their lifestyle. I chose to leave after my attempted suicide as I could only see things getting worse. Ruining my BF's proposal because I had SHT all over my hands. So my BF spontaneously decides we should go on a hike on this trail that leads to a waterfall. It's about an hour and a half drive to the trailhead from our place and it's a fairly popular hiking trail. We get to the parking area and get going. We are having good time. We brought his dog and she's loving this walk. About half an hour of walking, it hits me, I have to SHT, now. I have IBS and when nature calls, there is no denying it. My BF knows this and waits for me on the trail while I plunge into the forest and find a hidden spot to pop a squat. After the deed is done, I'm a mess and I have no TP. So I use all of our water in the 2 water bottles we brought to clean myself up. I shamefully pull my pants up and start walking back to the trail. I thankfully brought hand sanitizer, and start applying it liberally to my hands. That's when I notice that there is still shit on my hands. It is embedded into the little crevices of my palms. My hands smell like SHT and the hand sanitizer isn't helping. I need soap and water, and I used all of hours washing up my ass. I try to rub dirt onto my hands but it doesn't really work, it just gets dirt all over my hands, so now it looks like there is just more shit smeared all over me. So, what can I do? I shove my hands into my jacket pockets and meet back up with my BF. We continue our walk and I try to keep a distance from my BF because he is a bit of a germaphobe and I didn't want him to smell the SHT stink coming off me. But he keeps trying to walk right by me and hold my arm and be lovey-dovey. We finally get to the damn waterfall where I thought maybe there would be a creek or something I could rinse my hands in, but no, the waterfall is in a ravine like a 1/6 mile away from the overlook at the end of this trail. There are a few other people there taking pictures and stuff. I wanted to leave ASAP, but my BF insisted that we stay a bit longer. He was waiting for people to clear out. After about 15 minutes of loitering, the overlook was still pretty busy, people coming and going and setting down for picnics. My BF decides that it's now or never and gets down on a knee and holds out a ring to me. I instinctively went to cover my gasp with my hands, bad move, but thankfully I quickly thought better of it. My BF is giving a little speech and I'm screaming internally and wanting to throw myself over the edge of the overlook. Now my BF and I had already made explicit plans to get engaged and married, but he had given me the impression that he wasn't going to do the big proposal thing. I guess he just wanted to surprise me because we've been discussing marriage for over a year now, been waiting for the right time and to get money for a wedding. My poor boyfriend is expectantly waiting for me to stick my, unbeknownst to him, poopy finger into this beautiful ring he got for me, and there are like 6 strangers watching and newing excitedly. So I shakily extend my hand and he slides the ring on, and sure enough he grimaces as he catches a whiff of my tans. He stands up to kiss me anyways, but he firmly held my wrists at my sides, probably to prevent me from touching him, understandably. My now official fiancé asked me why my hands smell like shit on the walk back, and I cried the whole car ride home, while he occasionally burst into laughter in between attempts to console me. We stopped at the nearest rest place so I could use the bathroom and wash my damn hands. Good news is he still wants to marry me. My mom thinks my friend is a pervert and probably does Dr. G's. Anyway, as a joke I told a friend of mine that I wanted a dildo. She immediately agreed to buying one for me. The only problem was how I was gonna hide it from my very conservative mother. My friend's idea was to buy a lockbox disguised as a big dictionary. Well, she got the box and the dildo. The next problem was getting the book to me. Except, I ended up getting sick with an allergic reaction to a shampoo. It was the Briogeo one, don't buy it, so I was stuck at home with my mom. Luckily, I was supposed to go get pho with her and my boyfriend that same week, so my friend thought it was the perfect time. She could get me pho and bring me the book at the same time. This is where the fuck up begins. She comes and puts the pho on the table and then says, "Hey social, I'm gonna go put this on your bed, okay?" And my mom asks me what she was doing. I told her she was just giving me a book she bought me. Then she leaves. I guess my mom was suspicious of the book because she followed my brother to my room and then comes back to help me prepare my pho. Then she starts asking me about the book. I answer her questions, obviously covering up what was inside it. Then I go inside to try to put it in my bookshelf without her knowing, but she walks in. She then proceeds to grab it from me saying, "Hey, I think there's something here," and she shakes it. I go, "Who knows?" and she opens the cover to reveal it's a safe, and I go, "I thought it was just a book," and then she hands me the key and says, "Open it." I obviously say no. She proceeds to insist I open it and I prepare to give the performance of my life. I open the box and I see a rainbow dildo and a set of tarot cards and quickly slam it closed. I proceed to deny that I asked for it and that maybe she gave me the wrong one. My mom then demands that I call my friend to take the box back and to not tell her that she knows. I call my friend and she is pissed to high hell that my mom opened it. My mom then proceeds to lecture me about having better friends and that I shouldn't trust a pervert. She tells me that I am a Christian, false, and that I shouldn't have those things and how I could possibly consider owning one of those in the presence of a child. At one point she asks if the cards were pornography cards. She also tells me I should be glad my dad didn't find it. I still don't know what she means by that. And to this day my mom still thinks my friend is a pervert, and every time I hang out with her she warns me not to accept anything from her. She also tries to smear her name as well, saying she's a good for nothing and probably lazy, even though she makes $15.50 an hour, takes care of her niece, and helps pay for her family's bills. Vape, that probably further ruined my relationship with my mom. She should probably thankful I saved her from getting knocked out. If you enjoy this video, please be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. If you have any suggestions for future videos, please let us know in the comments below. Turn on the notifications to know when we post new videos. Thank you for coming to the house of Reddit.